Hello, 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 hello. This is your girl Beverly Francois Alston. One of the things I am getting calls about is people their LLC not getting any kinds of benefit from them working on their LLC. So if you have an LLC presently and you're the only employee, plus you're the owner, um, and they've been putting out a lot of stuff that where you can get credit for people who have worked throughout the COVID season, or just you get credit in general for having employees, right? But you always find yourself, because you work the most, but you don't get credit for this. You don't. And as a LLC, that's the one downfall that comes with having an LLC. Um, you can file as a sole proprietor. Um, you can file even as an S corp, so you can get whatever tax benefit that comes with an S corp. But when you're an LLC, you don't really reap the benefit as an employee. You can't take your hours and all that time that you have put into the company and, get some type of write off for it. And when the government is giving money for that type of service, you have to exclude yourself. And sometimes that can be unfair. So, what I'm going to just hone in on today is educating people of the fact that you can move from your LLC to an S Corp. And the steps and the process are really simple. And I know some of you out there who are LLC are making so much money right now presently, and you're really putting yourself out there. You got employees, your business has gotten to a higher echelon, and you might be thinking about expanding. So if you are in that category, S corp might be your next step, or just being a corporation. Now, the difference between an S corp and an LLC is has to do with the shareholders. It has to do with the different forms of taxes that are paid. Whereas with an LLC, they're very straightforward. And if you're filing as a sole proprietor, you're pretty much being taxed as your personal tax and nothing else. So with an S corp, the one thing that you can do, though, that is a great thing if your business is being built up, is now you can offer shares to your employees. You can actually get benefits from you yourself individually becoming an employee. So you get tax write offs, you get different things and different benefits for your business when it's bigger as an S corp versus an LLC. So it is something that some of you out here should think about if you are an LLC and you see yourself in that category. Please, it's something that you really, and it's so beneficial because I am presently in that process. Throughout the whole COVID and stuff, I know that a lot of us were working and we weren't really getting the unemployment and all that extra benefits that other people were getting because we were self-employed. And so there were ways that we would make our money, whether through social media, through Zoom, however we had to transition, but we were making money. And now the government is saying, oh, well, we want to pay everybody, pay your employees and such, give you some money because y'all kept employees, because you have employees under your business, whether subcontractors, whether regular employees, but you had employees, right? And so I couldn't reap the benefit of that. And I had to sit with my tax person, my CPA person, and I had to really hone in on if this is that level where I should now go over to the S Corp. And it's something that I had to think about. If it is that I have subcontractors now and I'm moving into a different tax bracket, yeah, S Corp will be the thing. If it is that I want to get benefits and I'm working and this is my full time, my business is my full time job, I want to get benefits from this. And when my business do get built up, I want to have people, do shares and take part in my business. And in order to do so, you personally will need to move over to the corporate world. So now, if you're going to do that, one of the steps you take is doing a conversion. There's a you go to the IRS and you will, get the information that's needed, and you will do a conversion form. And once you do that and they approve it, you then can file. There is this um, S Corp version. It's like transferring entities. And so you can actually go and file this form that is called it's called 2530. Is it 25? Is it 2553? That's the number. 2553. That's the number of the form. When you go on the IRS website, you type that form in, you fill that form out, and once you filled it out, it's going to ask you for documentations because, of course, you're transferring to a corporate. So now you're going to need, your corporate verbiage. You're going to need to show board members. You're going to need to show whatever corporate may ask for while filling this form out. And you fill it out, file it out, and then you send it to the IRS. And you get that within I want to say let's say 3 to 4 weeks to be safe. And you can actually become an S Corp and an LLC at the same time, which is really cool. So for those of you out there who may think you're stuck in an LLC and you can't move, or you can't move to go and do different things, this is something that you might want to think about, switching from an LLC to an S Corp. All right, so that's your tip for today. You have any questions or concern, you know how to reach me. You can also go to my website. It's www.bsfdesignllc.com. Check me out. We are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, also on LinkedIn. You can check us out. We provide designing, logo, website, branding, business planning. You want to start your entity? Come on board.